Hello and welcome back to 808 Ranks. Today we are going to be reviewing the Ip Man tetralogy. According to the internet, Ip Man is a series of Hong Kong biographical martial arts films based on the life events of the Wing Chun master of the same name. This is a video that I have wanted to do for a long time, as the Ip Man movies hold a very special place in my heart. I will be ranking the movies in chronological orders. Also, I will be excluding the remakes and knockoffs, because movies need to be good to be considered movies. Alright, let's get into the video. Starting us off at the beginning, we have Ip Man 1. Released in 2008, the first Ip Man received widespread praise from both critics and audiences alike. This is my personal favorite of the Ip Man movies. The fighting choreography is beautiful, and though the story is a bit slow to start, it really picks up in the middle and truly exceeds what I was expecting at the climactic ending. Most of all, however, and this is my one gripe about the Ip Man series as a whole, is that Ip Man 1 is the only Ip Man movie to have a realistic antagonist, and not some evil caricature. Ip Man 1 gets S tier. Next we have Ip Man 2. First and foremost, we have to address the big British elephant in the room, the antagonist of the film. This guy is really over the top. It feels like the writers tried a bit too hard to write a racist character, to the point where I said previously that I do not see an actual character but a walking, talking, racist puppet. That being said, the rest of the movie is pretty good. The motivations work. The side characters are well fleshed out, with the exception of Fatso. Though certainly not better than Ip Man 1, Ip Man 2 has the stronger ending and serves as a pretty enjoyable sequel. Also, the young Bruce Lee is pretty funny. Ip Man 2 gets A tier. Okay, time for my least favorite Ip Man movie, Ip Man 3. There are 3 words I would use to describe this movie: unfocused, and Mike Tyson. Whereas the first 2 Ip Man movies felt connected and tracked logically between the 2 time jumps, Ip Man 3 basically goes, the last movie, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. It completely defeats the purpose of being a sequel, and I had a hard time determining whether characters were new or old. Also, the entire movie can be broken down into 2 main plots, the one where Ip Man beats up the gangsters and Mike Tyson, and the one where Ip Man beats up his intellectual rival. Therein lies the main problem. The movie has too much to say and falls short on both stories, making the plot feel loose and unfocused. If it were up to me, I would restructure the movie so that the second plot, the one where Ip Man is fighting his rival Wing Chun master, becomes the central plot, with the gangster being a small side plot towards the beginning. This story is much more powerful, as it challenges the legitimacy of Ip Man's skill as a martial artist. Basically, there is a good plot here, we just need to restructure some stuff. But hey, the movie isn't entirely bad. The fight scene with the Muay Thai guy is really good, and also Mike Tyson is in this movie for some reason, and also the Bruce Lee scene is very good. Ip Man 3 gets C tier. Ip Man 4, the finale. This movie is pretty off the walls funky. If you thought the racism in Ip Man 2 was cringe, wait till you see this movie. The villains in this movie are laughably evil, they are trying way too hard. However, the way Ip Man 4 addressed racism is, in my opinion, better than how they did it in Ip Man 2. Here's a video by Accented Cinema that discusses this topic. I highly recommend you check it out. Ip Man 4 is definitely a step up from 3, but it doesn't even come close to the levels as 1 and 2. The sets of Ip Man 4 feel cheap, like I'm watching a Disney Channel sitcom, and also I'm not the biggest fan of the plot. However, the final fight scene is pretty powerful, and finally we get some more screen time from Bruce Lee's character. Ip Man 4, the finale gets B tier. Before I end the video, I think it's important to address something else: the inherent People's Republic of China propaganda in all 4 films. Each film's villain, with the exception of 3, can be equated to being a stereotype of an enemy of the PRC. Ip Man 1 was the Japanese, 2 was the British, and 4 the United States. It is important to understand that these films have undoubtedly been influenced by Chinese money, the same way how films in Hollywood are today. I will also be linking a clip of the Joe Rogan podcast that discusses these issues. Ultimately, does knowing this lessen my enjoyment of the films? No, these are still good movies, but it is important to understand the political, economic, and social contexts behind how these movies are made. Alright, you have reached the end of the video. I will see you on the next one, and remember, these are just my opinion.